God, no. I really didn't want to be right about this one. So a digital rights group called Foxglove has just obtained meeting minutes from a UK government roundtable where Google, Microsoft, Amazon, IBM, and Palantir were all proposing, surgically implanting chips, like microchips, inside prisoners in order to track their behavior and their location in real time. And here's the thing about all of that. You see, that meeting took place a little over a year ago, and those proposals have been sitting under consideration for that entire year, and nobody knew about it until a few days ago when those minutes were made public. And according to Ministry of Justice sources, none of those proposals have been ruled out. They're all still on the table. Now, if you've been following me for a while, then you already know why my face looks like this. Because last year, I published a 7-part investigation called Who TF Is in My Head, and it was about Elon Musk and his company Neuralink, and about the potential for experimentation on incarcerated people, potentially, allegedly, when it comes to testing this technology, allegedly. In fact, I believe it was in part 5 where I covered the direct investors in Neuralink. What is actually being funded here? And more importantly, who's writing the checks? A lot of your investors here are going to be your standard, like Elon evangelists, right? The Valor Equity Partners. Get them to that $1 trillion. And then some of your Silicon Valley firms who are getting in before the IPO. But then the list kind of takes a sharp turn. And then you've got Founders Fund, which is Peter Thiel's firm. And many of you, of course, know him as the guy who founded Palantir, which makes surveillance software for U.S. intelligence and military. So, at least it's on brand. Yeah, so 2 of the companies that were in that room proposing to chip prisoners are already financially tied to the most prominent brain chip company on Earth. And the reason I stopped reporting on it last year, I think towards the end of last summer, was because it honestly was just like really heavy material, and it's really dark, and it put me in a bad space mentally. And on top of that, people were attacking me online, saying that I was fear-mongering and calling me a grifter and saying that I was just making things up to scare people and get views. And, that takes a toll on you after a little while too. Just like they did with the ballroom. And to some degree, I don't blame them. I mean, it sounds crazy, right? It sounds insane. How could we do such horrible, evil things to people? And unfortunately, I think the answer to that question might surprise some of you. But the facts are the facts, and Elon Musk is in a direct race with China over who's going to control the brain-computer chip interface technology industry, especially that sector of healthcare. And his company Neuralink is advancing at a pace that should make anybody feel uncomfortable, especially given how these things are supposed to be tested. And here's the thing nobody's saying out loud. You don't pitch surgically implanting tracking chips into incarcerated populations unless you've already been practicing and you know that it works. You don't walk into that meeting with just a hunch. Your pitch deck has data on it. I know it does. You test it and then you present it. That's how that stuff works. And look, I encourage you guys to go check out those videos for yourselves. You have to scroll pretty far back on my TikTok or Instagram. But also 4 months ago, I decided to compile them all into one video for ease on my channel on YouTube, so you can go watch it there if you prefer. I also wrote in-depth articles with all of my sources listed at the bottom that are available on my Substack, The Dre Dossier. And it looks like I'm about to pick this story back up again. So I'll see you guys in part 8.
Shalom Yasharallah, it's your brother Darash Shemant, and I'm back with another lesson. Before I get started, I want to say Call Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakodash. And double honor to our elders and apostles at Great Millstone for bringing out this truth. And shalom to the Old Elect, which includes 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there scattered around the world, including those speckled-bird Israelites who may look like the other nations but are not. This is not a black thing. It's not about the color of your skin. You are who you are according to the seed of your father. And this word goes out to the 12 tribes scattered abroad because the scriptures were only written unto the nation of Israel. So I'm back with a quick update on the MOT to the B. I'm going to go title this one, It's June, Ain't No Microchip. So see the intro video. Palantir and some other organizations have plans to put chips in prisoners that track them. And that lines up with Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse. But I thought, there ain't no microchip. And it is June. It's June 6th, to be exact. And this article was put out June 1st, 2026. So we can see who the false prophets are now. We can see who the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai are, who've been telling you this has been coming. I mean, the elders were telling you that this has been coming before I was born. So, let's get into it. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And what is that mark? The charagma. Okay, we already went into this just last week. All right, small and great. So no matter what your status is in this world, okay, they will require you to take this mark to participate in society. All right, rich and poor, no matter what funds you got. Okay, maybe the elite at the top, they might not have to take it, because they running the show. All right, they trying to chip you to turn you into a slave. Okay, and we'll get into that. Free and bond. Okay, so you see the article that was displayed in the video is talking about people in prison. Okay, they want to track them and stuff. Why do they need to track people in prison? They already got them locked up. All right, they are moving to establish the mark. All right, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So notice, okay, she brought up Neuralink, which we talked about. Okay, that's the mark in the forehead. An example. Okay. Maybe they'll make another type of chip. Another company will have their own brand, but, the one that everybody thinks of is Neuralink, all right? Now, let's look at Mark again. I know I just made a video on this, but once I saw that video, I was like, I got to do it, all right? Got to make another one. Let's see. That's foreheads, charagma. All right? Charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, a mark stamped on the forehead or in the right hand of the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. And the Antichrist is anyone who denies that Yahushai is Lord. Okay, so there's many Antichrists. The scriptures tell you that many Antichrists have come into the world. It's not one person. Okay, all right. Okay, everybody on this planet is an Antichrist except for the elect of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Because they're not with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That's the way it is, okay? That's the spirit that's on them, all right? It says, the mark branded upon hearts is a thin grave sculpture, graven work, or idolatrous images. That don't fit, all right? Let's go to Karax. It says a pale or a stake or palisade. And I told you in the last video to go look up what a palisade is and not the truck. Okay, the little sharp, pointy fence type thing. They have examples of it. You think about the old stakes that they would put up for fences in, like, medieval times, or maybe before medieval times, when there was, I don't know what time period to give you exactly, but somewhere between BD and 1000 AD, okay, the type of, fences they would put up back then. Well, I guess people could still make them now, but just to give you an idea. But go Google it and look it up. You'll see it, what I'm talking about. All right? And it says, no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So eventually this is to affect all of society. So they're starting small on a smaller scale. And eventually this is, is going to expand. All right, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of man, and his number is 666, or Chi Psi Stigma. Okay, and stigma would be a prick or a mark. Okay, which is what we'll be talking about. And I'm going to show you an example of this mark of servitude in the Old Testament. Okay, rocks. All right, so 666, the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. They not understand it. All right, and it says primarily from stitzo, to stick, prick, or mark, pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked or cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. All right, so you taking this mark, you are saying that Esau Edom is your master. You are saying that Esau Edom is your god. Okay, if you take the Neuralink, or if you take some other implantable chip into your brain, or an implantable, chip to participate in society in your hand. Okay? Now, let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 21, and start at verse 1. And it says, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years shall he serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master gave him a wife, she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Okay? And so that is a mark of servitude, all right? That awl, all right, piercing him through the ear. Well, this time Esau Edom is trying to pierce you through the hand, all right? He is trying to put that mark into your brain. That is your mark of servitude, that you are pledging to Esau Edom forever. So once you take that mark, there's no going back, because you pledged to this master forever. So then you can't serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. So then you have to face the lake, which would be Revelations 14 and verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of power, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, nor worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. Okay, and that lake is going to be America, aka Babylon the Great, because of the nuclear missiles that's going to hit here, that thermonuclear destruction, and then the lasers from the chariots. So this whole country is going to be the lake of fire. All right, so I hope that short lesson was edifying to you guys. And, you know, if anybody's telling you that the mark of the beast is not a microchip, don't believe them, because they're lying to you. We see the proof. It is coming, okay? We've been telling you this for years. People have been telling you this before I was born, all right? This is what it is. Now you can see it, all right? The scriptures say, make it plain upon tables. So now you got the information. Let's see, what is that? Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verse 2, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, so we interpreted this stuff for you. All right, we read it, we got the understanding. All right, and here we are telling it to you. You ran and spread the word. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It's coming, that time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right. People be like, oh, yeah, people have been talking about that since, you know, my grandmother was alive, and it never happened. It's not going to happen. Well, here we go. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right? Once it's upon you, that's it. It's coming. All right? So, hope this show lesson is edifying. Shalom, Yasharallah.